Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Michael and this is Whatever Michael. So in today's video, I'm gonna bring up something that it's quite overwhelming, slash popular, slash whatever you wanna call it, whatever you wanna put it here, called artificial intelligence, aka AI. And if you're just like me, you probably at this point in time, you already know what AI is, how powerful, can we say powerful? I don't know if that's the word, but how popular it became, how trendy it became. AI, since ChatGPT launched last year, I guess, or a couple of years, I don't recall right now, it became a trend, right? And it's not a secret to anyone that AI can be very helpful in our day-to-day tasks. A bunch of people ask AI about, how to deal with some situations. People are even developing relationships with AI, which is kind of concerning. So in today's video, I'm gonna talk about how we are all burdened and tired of AI. At least for me, I personally work in a tech company, and it became quite a thing where I work, and it's exhausting in my opinion. It's like, we really need to stop talking about AI. AI is taking over, but at the same time, in this video, it's what I'm trying to bring to the discussion, to the table. It's about how much AI really helps us, because sometimes I think we're losing the sense of AI, and how it can actually help us. So the first point that I want to bring up is that now everything is AI powered. It doesn't matter if you're, on your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever social media you're on, Twitter or, something like that. There's AI for everything. There's AI to improve your photos. There's AI to answer questions. There are AI chats that you can talk with. There are even AI accounts, which is scary as hell because we're not talking to a real person. It's a machine that is behind that. So sometimes I wonder, how are we really taking advantage of AI in our day-to-day? Because I work for a tech company, and this last few days I was scrolling through my LinkedIn, which is a terrible social media, by the way, don't install it. But I work in tech, and I want to know, and if I need to apply for jobs, is LinkedIn where I'm going to. I saw a lady and she was talking, she's probably working in marketing or something, and she was talking about her experience working with AI to generate newsletters. So she was basically talking how she always struggled to create, engaging newsletter, and how she used AI to kind of create a design for her newsletter email that she could take advantage of. So this is here I bring my first discussion point. How far are we going, and how much low quality stuff are we accepting in AI? Because she was talking about AI and about how she used AI to, really innovate, make the newsletter attractive visually and textually. And when I went to see the design that AI generated and came up to her, it was the most generic thing ever. We are losing the sense of what has quality. We're accepting anything AI throws our way because it's faster, it's convenient, but most of the time it doesn't have the same level of quality that a human being working on the thing would have. Our ability as humans is to really understand context, to read context, to understand what are the requirements for a newsletter or whatever thing I'm working on. So I kind of get concerned when I see people talking about how they use AI to create texts, CTAs, and blah, 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 call to actions in this case, if you're not familiar with what a CTA is, call to actions. And it gives us this sensation that we've consumed and we're consuming always the same thing. Because the text or whatever is being generated, it's coming from the same source, AI. Which, by the way, I know you're gonna tell me, but Michael, AI is using data from all its users to generate that. Yes, it is, and that's why it's trash. Because people, they don't give enough context for the AI. And nowadays, we even have prompt engineer positions in the market, like in tech companies, because you need to spend so much time writing a decent prompt to get a minimal usable, solution from AI, that you need to spend hours writing exactly, giving context of exactly what you need. And sometimes I just think it's easier for us to just sit down and create whatever we need to create. I work with training. My background is in IT, but nowadays I work with training. And the amount of generic texts that I read daily that probably was generated by AI, and I've worked with like ChatGPT, Gemini, now there's Claude, a bunch of stuff. And I read that it has always the same tone. It uses always the same words. So I wonder, how much shit are we accepting just because AI is generating for us and it's saving us time? And how we are settling for less. Another thing that I do need to address here, it's basically how we're relying on AI for such stupid things. If I'm feeling a certain pain on my back, or even sometimes, which is even worse in my opinion, I don't know how to react in a certain situation, I'm relying on AI to answer and to help me navigate certain situations or certain diagnoses, like when we're talking about health, which is weird in my humble opinion, because AI is not a doctor. And years ago, we used Google and would, describe our symptoms and say like back pain, hair loss or whatever. And Google would basically tell you that you have like 10 days of life, enjoy it because it's cancer and you're gonna die soon. AI is basically doing the same thing. It's giving us a bunch of information of what could potentially be to help us understand our symptoms. But then we kind of develop this anxiety around all the symptoms that were listed by AI. And we kind of think that we have a little bit of everything. So it's not actually helping me. It's just giving me more reasons to be concerned. Same when we're dealing about social situations. As human beings, we're supposed to be social. We're supposed to know how to handle social environments when we're interacting with people and everything else. Now, I do know that there are certain struggles. Sometimes I don't even know how to deal with certain situations, but relying on a machine to tell me what I should do, it's weird. And it's kind of like taking away my willingness to, discover something new, get out of my comfort zone, go explore. There's no questions why people are quote unquote falling in love with AI or creating relationships with AI. Because after the pandemic, we ended up being so much more isolated than before. So we create situations where AI is our best friend, AI is kind of like our lover, AI is giving us the answer to everything that we want to ask. And the AI is really good at creating this environment of making you feel comfortable and make you feel like heard in a way. But that's not how real life works. In real life, you're gonna find people who won't agree with you. You find people who will eventually agree with you. But that's not the point. The point is that when I'm developing a conversation, the biggest thing that I can get out of it is the interaction, is the fact that I'm there with someone else, that someone else might disagree with me, may not, but it's there. It's a connection, and it's with a real human. And they're not saying things just to please me. They're saying things because they agree or not. So we also lost a lot from these social relationships that we kind of like use AI to replace, which is at a minimum weird and kind of scary, because I don't want AI to know every single thing about my life and, my problems or my health issues. That's at a minimum scary. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Michael, why do you hate AI? And I just want to make myself real clear here. I don't hate AI. I use it like in a daily basis, because as you can probably notice, my first language, my native language, is not English. I speak 3 different languages and I work with creative writing in English. So a lot of times I don't know vocab, I don't know, I need to review some grammar rule or something in that sense. And AI helps me a lot in that sense. But I do disagree that AI should do all the work for me, because AI doesn't have half of the context that I have. AI is not able to make the smart decisions that I am supposed to be making. So this idea of us giving or assigning our work to AI, it scares me a little bit. Every day we're talking about automation with AI. And God, please, let's all stop this. Just let's stop. Because seriously, AI cannot automate a shit. Like literally, I've seen a couple of things being automated. And can we talk about those videos and like images generated through AI? Yo, we're not ready for that. It's fake as hell. It lacks quality, it lacks human touch. It lacks the basic stuff that only we as humans are able to provide and are able to create. You know, I don't want to see more generic designs or, you know, generic texts that I've read a bunch of times. So while AI comes to help, we cannot even think about the impacts of AI. Set apart the fact that AI is really killing our environment, the number of times or each time that you consult or talk to the AI, you're wasting millions and millions of liters of water, electricity, and this is really causing a big issue, or can potentially in the future cause a big issue to our planet. But of course, big companies, they're not concerned about it. They just want you to engage with AI, use it as long as you can, take quote unquote advantage of it, and pay for premium stuff like ChatGPT Premium, Claude Premium, Gemini Premium, and blah blah blah. So I really just wanted to bring up this topic here because I am tired of AI. I cannot listen to the word AI once again because I'm kind of having a meltdown. If you're just like me, or if you disagree with me, you know, please comment down below. Like, what is your favorite thing about the AI? What's your last favorite thing about AI? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I have the energy to record something again. And thank you for engaging with the video. Don't forget to like, to subscribe. If any of what I said makes sense to you, if you disagree, if you agree, feel free, please to do so. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye. Thank you.